Well, good morning and welcome back aboard Checkmate. We are here at Turner's Marina in Mobile, Alabama area. It's on the west side of Mobile Bay. The plan is for today. We've been here a few days. And I say I've been traveling along with Carolyn and Randy and their beautiful dog Lily aboard Not So Fast. So we are going to be leaving here shortly, heading across Mobile Bay. It's looking real calm outside right now, but the weather is predicting the winds to get a little stronger coming out of the east and then hopefully kind of slacking off as we start to turn southeast towards the Gulf Shores area. The crossing is going to take, I think, 4 hours at our speed. And we're headed for we're headed for Homeport Marina in Gulf Shores. It's also affectionately known as Lulu's for a good reason. Lulu's, for those of you that don't know, she is Jimmy Buffett's sister. And she has a wonderful restaurant that's way over there in Gulfport that I can't wait to get to. I understand that it's top-notch food, so when we get there, I will definitely find out. So I'm going to go ahead and make breakfast, get the boat all ready, and then head out. So let's go. All right, we're tossing off the lines, heading down to Lulu's, heading across Mobile Bay. All right, so I can't see squat out my windows. I've already stood up out front and wiped them off with a squeegee, but the inside's all fogged up too. Yep. The chamois not doing really good. Good, so much water. That's gonna have to do. I'll deal with it as I'm driving, because as you go, it just keeps fogging up, and you even have to wipe it off 2 or 3 times. And then when the sun hits it, it'll finally dry. Just one of the things you deal with. There's no way to get it perfect the first time. All right, that's good. Okay, I'm going to do something a little different here. Normally, I mute the engine noise when I edit the video. But for this exit, as I'm pivoting the boat around and moving forward, I think I will leave the engine sound up to its full volume and let you hear what it sounds like. It sounds pretty cool when you're maneuvering the boat at slow speed. Let me know in the comments if I should do this again or if I should just go ahead and mute the engine noise while I'm exiting. Here we go. Get away from the poles. A little forward. Port in reverse. Give it a little extra so that I don't hit that pole. And the starboard and forward. Pivot, pivot, pivot. And right before you get there, you go both forward. And then a little bit of wheel to straighten it out. All right, nobody coming that way. Nobody coming that way. Get ready to do a starboard in reverse. And give it some extra gojo. Give it some more beans. That will pivot the boat, get off on the beans. Give it forward just before it clears up. Yes, sir. A little extra reverse on the starboard. And both forward. Yeehaw. It is a beautiful morning, and this hat can't quite handle the GoPro. It's hanging down in front of my eyes. My good hat flew off in the wind yesterday making the crossing. Alright, let me slow down and make sure nobody's coming out here. This is the open waterway for the 3 marinas in here, 4 marinas. Good to the starboard. Nobody. And let's see. Can't see past this boat. All right. Good to the port. Do an engine pivot, port in reverse, starboard and forward. See, you don't want to roll your isinglass up while it's still all spotted with water, because then when the water spot's dry on it, it'll spot the heck out of your isinglass. So you really, this is the only way you can do it, is just wipe it down, continuously wipe it down until it really gets dry, and you can see it looks foggy because it's absorbed the water. Once the sun dries it out, it'll get all crystal clear again. And that's just one of the things you deal with when you leave early in the morning. Isn't that amazing? We were in there and it was zero, quiet, calm. Looking at the apps, everything says it's calm. As soon as you get out here, I can already see it out there. It's not calm. So that's just one of the things that always happens in open water. All right, I'm heading out into the open bay, and it is almost 3-footers. 3-foot chop. It's gonna be on my beam, and that is not going to be fun at all. That just shows you that the wind prediction, wave prediction models are almost never correct. This was showing it right about now. It was going to be starting to come out of the south-southeast, and it's coming out of the north-northeast, or somewhere in there. It just, oh well, gonna be a tough ride. I'll just tough it out. Nothing I can do. Well, it's flattened out a lot. It's really a beautiful day out. Look at this. Couldn't ask for flatter water. Looks like we've got another 12 miles to go. And I've got my earbuds in, jamming to some good rock and roll. Just beautiful, beautiful. It's a vast open waterway out there. Finally made it into the Gulf ICW. It's looking good. 2 more miles to go to get to our marina. And to Lulu's. I want a, what do I want? a fish taco and a mojito. Sounds good, huh? Okay, here we are. My wheel. Must be a hell of a current coming in there along with the wind. All right, so face dock, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna swing in backwards. Do a port stern tie. At least that's the plan. So let's see if I can pull this off. Want it to swing around, pendulum effect. And then I'll back up. Nicely done. Now back in. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. And you go get out, walk it in. I'm gonna shut her down. We are here, Lulu's. I'm hungry. All right, we finally made it into Homeport Marina, Alabama. Lulu's. We're going to get the boat. We're all tied up on this beautiful floating dock, myself and Not So Fast. We're going to get cleaned up and head over to Lulu's for lunch. So I'll take you along. We're going to find out how good the food is. So let's go. For those of you that don't know, Lulu is Jimmy Buffett's sister. Her restaurant is the Key West style atmosphere. They have really good entertainment. There's a nice gift shop and a huge kids playground on steroids. The food is excellent. And I finally got my mojito. Such nostalgic pictures adorn the walls. Even a picture of Jimmy Buffett at like 14 years old. This was really, really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. And the rest of the day, it rained cats and dogs. Good morning. It is, let's see, 6:30, barely 6:30 here this morning. We're still at Lulu's, but getting ready to leave. Had a few days here to be able to wait out some weather. I think a little bit of the remnants of Tropical Storm Sarah came through. It's been just rainy and kind of, yeah, windy. Got a chance to eat at Lulu's 3 times, so that was really good. I love that kind of food. And the plan for today is we're going to make about a 70-mile run going eastbound. We need to beat feet. Top part of Florida is a lot longer than I anticipated. So we need to get going. And yeah, so that's planned for today. So I'm going to eat my egg and cheese sandwich, my cup of coffee, and do my engine checks, and we'll crank engines and get out of here. Well, the windows are really fogged up. So I've already gone outside, stood on the front of the bow of the boat here, or the front of the helm, with a chamois and wiped them down as good as I can, but it's still really wet. You can't roll these up while they're wet. And then get the sun on them, you'll almost destroy isinglass. So you just kind of have to deal with it as you idle out until the sun completely dries them out. So it's really difficult to see, but I can see good enough to be safe. So it is what it is, and I can pop this open if I need to see something. I'm good. Sun's in my face, lines are off. Oh, let's do it. All right, a little bit of port, and when I get ready I'll give it some starboard and it'll swing around. Okay, I'm getting ready to clear. Starboard. Give it some gojo, some beans. Let it settle a little bit. Forward. Only on the ports. There we go. I got to clear these boats. Boy, they're sticking way the heck out there. Holy mackerel. Man, can't see diddly with the sun reflected in the water. Holy mackerels. Okay, we're clear. Let's do a... Oh, the water's going that way. The current, man, has started swinging me. All right, port in reverse, starboard ahead. Give some beans on the port. And now some beans on the starboard. And both together. And a little bit of beans on both. A little bit of steering input. And we're heading out. So this was quite an eventful day. Started off very nice. The winds weren't too bad. There were some really, really wide open areas. And thank goodness that was early and the winds were nice and friendly to us. We got to see some dolphins. That was kind of cool. So the sun has just about got the isinglass dried out. It's still a little, it soaks up water. It's crazy. It's completely bone dry, but until the sun heats it up, it still stays a little foggy. Once the sun heats it up, then it gets crystal clear. But it's close enough now that I can roll it up. So it's starting to get a little toasty up here with the sun kicking in. So I'm going to go ahead and at least roll some of it up. There we go. And the front ones are still, they're getting there. They're still a little, I really want to wait till they dry out more and become clear before I roll them up. And as we pass the inlet, man, the swirls and the rough water at the inlet were crazy. I would definitely not want to come through there in a boat. And I came across a barge full of cement pyramids. These are devices that they put down on the bottom of the floor of the ocean that give juvenile fish a place to survive. This is a great thing to see going on. And then as we got further into Florida, we started to see the Florida things pop up, such as the Florida palm trees, the condos, and the lines and lines of small marinas after marinas after marinas. Now, one of the things Pensacola is known for is the Blue Angels. They do training on Tuesday, but this was Wednesday. All of a sudden, out of the side of my eye comes the Blue Angels, smoke on, all 5 of them together, tight, screaming across the sky. I was going crazy trying to get my camera out. They weren't doing a show. They were just coming in and doing a break arrival, which they all come in together, and then one breaks off at a time and they come around and land. So yeah, I was doing my best to try to get some video, but it was just too rough out. However, did we ever get a show? We started hearing some noise, and a boat, a military boat, comes and cuts us off and stops us and tells us to detour around where we were going. And right after that, here comes a Chinook come flying in, a CH-47, and he buzzes us, which was really cool. And then right behind him, another helicopter comes up, drops right down on top of the water. The back door opens up. They throw out a bunch of black rubber rafts, and guys are diving in the water. Man, it was right in front of us. The wind from the prop was just blowing us sideways. Noise was just vibrating the boat. It was so cool. Man, I tell you, that was better than an air show. It was really, really awesome to see all this going on. That was the excitement for the day, that's for sure. And check out this awesome looking control tower. Never seen anything like it. I'm guessing it's a control tower. It could be something else. I don't know. If anybody knows that it's different, please let me know. But all good things must come to an end. It really started to blow and howl. Well, I hope you can hear me over the wind noise. But we just turned northbound, headed across this bay into our marina, and the wind just started howling. That's whitecap. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but man, it is solid whitecap. My isinglass is stretching within an inch of its life. Holy mackerel. Man, I'm sure glad we're not anchoring out tonight. Goodness gracious. This would not be fun. All part of boating life. Man. My Starlink is jumping up and down on the roof. Both Randy and I were having the roly-polies on our boat, where we were just having a rough time trying to keep it going in a straight line at times. Finally made it into Two Georges Marina, and it was interesting. So we're waiting to get in here, and the marina seems to be confused. It's really tight. I don't know if you can see in there with the camera, but it's really tight up in there. So we got to go all the way back up in there. Okay, I'm going in. It is really tight in there, and the wind is really blowing, and we got current swirling around, and I'm gonna see what happens here. It could be fun. Slow and easy. I got all my line, all 3 lines are laying right here.
Where's home?
Wow, what a day, what a day. Made it across. Um, it was 68 miles. These are all statute miles, by the way, for anybody that's curious. I do everything and make it simple and easy. Um, Man, rough waters, smooth waters, big waters, little waters, everything you could come through. And those helicopters, so cool. Very neat to see stuff like that. So, yeah, I just kept myself busy, and a long day like that's really tough for me. But we're here. It's still blowing outside. And the way we're tied up, it's really hinky, but it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this different type of a travel. Wasn't really that different, but for me it was on board. I don't know if I captured enough of it, but man, it was an exciting day for me. So now we have to sit down and figure out where we're going to go next and when. We may stay here a couple days. It all depends on this wind blowing. Man, it was really rough. The last little leg in, I didn't capture because it was so rough. Man, I mean, and I actually had to get it up on plane and just run about 25 miles an hour just to get all across top of it. It was just beating me up. So that little portion I just couldn't record because it was just, it was tough. So anyway, thanks again for watching. You know I do appreciate it. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.